Hello there, welcome back to Tunis. We're currently at war with Portugal. Last time we destroyed the Mamluks, I think, or the time before that. I'm a little bit uncertain, but the Ottomans got themselves into a pretty nasty war here, and they're currently suffering. Genoa is starting to become a superpower, surprisingly enough. Don't know how those two words actually fit together in a sentence, but they did beat Crimea, they did beat the Ottomans with the help of England, Austria, France, and basically a ton of other superpowers. England is, funnily enough, to having some pretender rebels thanks to our interference, so to speak. The funny part here now is that we've actually beaten Portugal to a point where they only have 6,000 men in their army. So what we're actually going to do here most likely is drop our forces into their lands, provided of course they continue to drop their forces into my lands, which would be pretty damn hilarious if they did. And they're actually continuing doing so. The problem of course here will be that the Portuguese armada is so much stronger than ours that will be pretty damn hard for us, that is, to drop any forces into their lands. But since they were nice enough to send their entire army here, and they actually did send their entire army, we should be perfectly fine in destroying them. So we got the annexation of Togut completed, got some more troops. Our name is a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer, but all in all, we're not currently in the best position here. We have some minus modified from the terrain, but we sold that. But again, the main problem I think will be the fact that army-wise we're looking good, everything considered. The negative problem here, or repercussion, call it whatever you want, is the fact that they have a bigger navy than us, and that is currently my main concern in this war, that if we are to try and get to them, we need to beat said navy. I know that I can destroy this navy, provided of course that I don't get bamboozled by the rest of their navy. Funnily enough, that navy actually attacked us. But it's kind of an awkward scenario here. I need to get my troops into their land without having their navy stop me, and their navy is actually right here. Luckily enough, it's going away, but that 5,000 man army is still an issue. Let's just be honest. And it wasn't apparently going away, it was coming towards me, which I foolishly did not realize. But all in all, we can probably now... Looming disaster. What? Pike and shot. Military attack 8. Military attacks by 0.25, combat width increased by 1, infantry fire by 0.25, cavalry shock by a whole point, and we can build training fields and a march. But that wasn't really the big concern here. Why do I have a looming disaster? Oh. So apparently peasants will happen if your manpower gets low. Why didn't the Castilians get a peasants' war then? Well, the fact is that we'll actually get a peasants' war then, apparently. Stability less than 1. Okay, so peasants' war can actually be stopped by doing this. Okay, so if your low manpower gets stability up, fine. I get the idea. But again, I really would prefer it if we got some troops into Portugal itself. If not, we're just going to end up taking this province, which apparently they are not willing to hand over, which is of course not the best thing ever. But it is what it is. We'll also probably take war operations if we can't actually get ourselves into their lands, but we'll wait and see. We'll probably find one way of doing so, and what I'm actually going to do to preserve some of my manpower is consolidate my regiments, which makes my army a little bit smaller, but it saves manpower and money. Ridiculously enough. But yeah, I'm just going to look here, see if I can actually find a good time to invade Portugal. How many troops do we got? 10, 15, 16. They do still have quite a bit of troops. I think we're just going to wait this out, see if I can actually lure them into my country to kill them. That would be the most beneficial way of doing things, so I think we're going to go with that. Could unfortunately not get my troops in their land when I had the advantage, but not much I can do about that. At the current time it's Jianzhou show. So I know China apparently. I see a lot here. More than Europeans at this stage, which is kind of funny. But anyways, Ming here is apparently suffering from Xiang Patriots, Wu Patriots, and Min Patriots. Sichuanese Patriots and Jin Patriots. So it seems like Ming is actually going to implode, which would be a hilarious thing to witness, but we'll see how that pans out. Anyways, for now we'll focus on our own little trouble here. The English army being down here is not something that I am looking too kindly upon. I might have to actually march my entire army down there to beat them, which would not be great by any stretch. But it seems like Tafilalt has actually taken that mission upon themselves. They're 2 tanks behind, so they're probably going to lose. And even with that 641 general, they're probably still going to lose. But I'll allow them to have their fun, if you will. Unrest in Tunis and Mazab, not surprising considering both of them are Ibadi provinces. Not much we can do about it either. But again here I'm going to just wait things out, see if we can get some Portuguese coming to our land and working from there. But for the time being there's not too much I can do. I need a better general if I want to go into Portugal with my army. Did not get a better general at all, no shock modifiers. So I think we're just going to see here how bad Tafilalt is actually beaten during this battle. They're actually winning, or they are losing, all in all. So, not the best for us, but it's something that I can live with. So, I think for the time being we'll just wait things out. The Tafilalt army will probably recover and then beat them or try again. Worst case scenario, the Fezzan army will try their luck. But, not much we can do about that. It's still 7 or 8 years until we can attack the Mamluks again, so we have plenty of time to well, decide what to do. Now again, taking the ideas that I did, it was probably kind of a bad idea, all things considered. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we're going to be using a lot of admin points here to just core the Mamluk land that we're taking. But the funny thing is, I haven't actually seen Castile make any big gains. The French have also taken Navarra now, which makes it even more likely that they are going to attack. Unfortunately, we haven't had any luck with having Felipe dying, so that's too bad. But again, I kind of am reliant, or considering, hoping that I can potentially get the French into a war against Castile here, because that would be fairly likely. Of course, if they do, they'll probably take a province down here just to be douchebags, but who knows, we might make something work here. Now it's the English that are facing the Fezzans, and again here they're actually doing a pretty decent job, and England decided to sail down here to drop a 1,000-man regiment, which is hilariously stupid. But again, I'll just wait. I think I'm a little bit unsure how I want to handle Portugal, but all in all I think it should be fairly straightforward. Okay, let us run to land. We didn't actually lose any ships, which is a little bit surprising, but the English did almost kick our ass there. So again, I'll just wait things out and I'll decide what to do very soon. Now I just see something very scary. There's a 19,000 English army in my lands. Luckily enough, I was kind of waiting here for the white peas, but I think I can pay them off. Unfortunately, these guys don't want any. They don't want my gold, so we'll just concede defeat because it's the simplest way of getting rid of them. Sacrifice a little bit of my prestige, but it means that most of the Portuguese arsenal has now been. It has gone up in smoke. Of course, it's going to be kind of annoying to get my lads into the Portuguese provinces, especially considering the differences in navy, etc. But it's not going to be completely impossible per se. But they do have a pretty decent army currently just standing by there waiting for me. So I'm a little bit unsure how I want to play this for now. It seems at least that the Ottomans are currently going into a positive manner. They are on their way up again, which is of course really useful. And the Mamluks here have actually got rid of their alliance with Morocco, which is bad for me because that means that my I need a casus belli now against them, which I do not have. And that is of course not beneficial to me in any way, form or shape. So we'll have to figure out a solution there. Funnily enough, the Knights have actually taken Malta, or God Malta, whatever you want to call it. They have control over Malta, so could be interesting here to just try and get myself into war with the Knights for the purpose of taking this and releasing Sicily. But we'll see. Castile is currently at -1, so we need a good friend to die pretty soon. There's internal conflicts all over the place too, just to make things even more interesting. Now, do I want to take the experienced diplomats? I think I do. The Portuguese war here seems to last, or seems to is going to be lasting for quite a while, so taking experienced diplomats is probably not the worst idea I've ever had. The diplomatic reputation will help, for instance, if I want to try and make an alliance with the French now in the future. As you can see, the Tunisian diplomatic reputation is currently at -1. The reason for that is, as you can see here, I annexed the subject. But this will go up to approximately 6 once we get rid of the annexed subjects minus, and of course legitimacy at full. Then we suddenly, no sorry, 3, my bad. What the hell am I even thinking about? But anyways, if I can get a diplomatic guy, get some more of the diplomatic reputation ideas, things are going to get a lot better, and also we're closing in on the flexible negotiation, which will allow me to take more land from the Mamluks, from everyone basically. So things are going to get kind of interesting in that aspect as well. And the funny thing here is, I'm a little bit surprised that Castile hasn't actually decided to fight Portugal, especially consider the fact that they have broken their alliance with each other. And I'm also really surprised that the French and Castilians still haven't actually fought a war. It's kind of, I'm kind of reliant on France right now in order to break the union, or some bad prestige events. We'll just have to wait and see here. But let's face it, King Felipe is starting to get old. I just need one lucky break here, and then boom, Aragon they're a free meal, so to speak. And again, that is kind of what I will have to hope for happening here. If not, there will not be too much out. So again, Portugal will cede Ceuta, Portugal will release Galicia. So we are at least getting to the point where Portugal feels like they're ready to give up. But I'm a little bit unsure what else they'll be willing to do here. Clear offer, humiliate, for instance. I could do that, I think. Yeah, I can actually humiliate them, which would actually give me power projection enough to get some extra points, but I don't really think I want to. There's no good point in actually doing that. So for the time being, we'll just clear the offer, and I think we're going to take Ceuta, some war operations. I don't think I want to force them to release Galicia. Galicia could be a really useful place to have. So if I release them, I would definitely have to declare without a casus belli pretty soon. But again, I don't want to release Galicia because it will be a really small nation that the Castile can then attack or peacefully vassalize. And suddenly then I have a positive prestige Castile. But let's face it, I will not be able to drop my forces into Portugal just yet. They're not just strong enough, they don't have the numbers just yet to actually be a reliable force. And I don't think I want to break Portugal's alliance with the English just yet. And the reason for that is really simple. If I break the Portuguese alliance with England, it's more likely that Castile will attack. I need Castile to not do anything silly here, which is of course hilariously difficult to do, but it is what it is. What I can do, on the other hand, is use the enforced military access. I do have diplomatic relations base available, and with the enforced military access, I can potentially use then Portugal as a stepping stone for my invasion of Castile in the near future. So I'm not idea how long it cannot be cancelled until the truce is over, so approximately 10 years will I now have access to Portugal, which of course is really good. It's beneficial to me, it will be helpful, and that is kind of what I'm hoping for here. So this is the deal I will be giving Portugal. We did beat them, albeit we didn't get everything that I wanted, but it is what it is. We have at least put ourselves now in a better position. What I will do for future's sake is fabricate a claim here on Algarve, and then we'll move our troops, I think, to a more advantaged position. In other words, we're going to place them close to the Mamluks, because that is they're basically the ones that we're going to be attacking next, I think. And also, of course, I'll have to hope that Fez or Tafilati actually fabricate a claim on Moroccan provinces, so we can finish them off once and for all. Ming has a civil war, not surprisingly. That's not surprising at all. But as I said, I think I can now, with that fabrication already started, I can just hand Ceuta over to Fez here, so they can start coring it. So that is fine. We'll probably also build a bigger navy in the near future too, but for the time being, we'll just leave things as they are. And I'll get ready for another war against the Mamluks pretty soon. We can also take our first humanist idea here, and I think we'll actually do that. We do get a fair bit of admin power, and by the time that we actually get to well, next war against Mamluk, we'll probably have enough power to core anything we take. So we're going to take tolerance here. There's two reasons for this. If we are attacked now, we'll have attrition for enemies +1 from our Berber ideas, desert warfare, and we'll also get +25 to our religious unity. What this means is that the 3 Albaida provinces that I currently have will no longer give us a, well, negative unity, which means that stability now will be cheaper again. So all in all, it's probably for the best that I did what I did. But I'll allow my armies to march to the Mamluks, and we'll see how this pans out. Could be very interesting in the near future. Well, of course, when I have a pretty amazing heir, especially considering what I had before, he's probably going to die. No, he actually survived. Thank you very much. Anyways, we had an event that gave me 50 diplomatic power, the Monopoly event, which was really useful. Other than that, not much have been happening. I've turned down the maintenance for my army in order to save up a little bit of money for future wars, of course. And I'm also kind of tempted here, since we're actually making a lot of money right now, to put a 4th defense guy in charge, and we're actually going to do that. Basically, it's going to be expensive, and it's going to be fired as soon as we get into a position where we will be at war. But it's halfway necessary right now, since I need to keep my military power high and basically be strong military-wise, which is kind of difficult with the rulers that I've had so far. But the truce we have with the Mamluks runs out in 1511. They are allied with Oman, Karkonlu and Adal. Not really anything for us to worry too much about. Karkonlu could be annoying, but all things considered, when it comes to tech, I'm pretty sure we can deal with that. The Ottomans will most likely join said war, unless of course they get themselves into some problems of their own. Genoa has gotten themselves into Crimean Patriot issues, so didn't last long for them. But this is the end of this episode. We have made some progress. We kicked the Europeans out of well, mainland Africa. They still have their islands, and I think before the next war with Portugal or whomever, we are actually going to try and get ourselves a decent fleet. Unfortunately, Castile is a positive prestige right now, which is kind of bad. It's almost tempting to declare war in order to try and break the, just get them into a negative prestige again. But it just seems so unlikely, which is unfortunate. I'm also again kind of pissed and annoyed here that the French are too worried about well, crushing Burgundy to actually do anything that makes sense. The French claims and cause are not down south, they are up north. So they're currently messing around with the Holy Roman Empire more than I like. But unfortunately, the as you can see, Austria, Poland, France, Venice. France and Venice is not something that the Austrians should be allied with, and the reason for that is actually really simple. Neither of them are part of the Holy Roman Empire, and both of them are eating the Holy Roman Empire. So Austria as emperor should get a malus towards alliances with aggressors to the empire. It's simple as that. But it seems like 1-9 potentially have broken that. I'm not sure if it's just this game or something else, but it's just frustrating. I don't like it, because of course it's not that the game is broken so much, it's more that I do not like what's happening because it's not beneficial to me. I guess it's more of that, so I should probably stop complaining as much as I do. But this has been the end of this episode. Feel free to comment with any praise, criticism, comments, anything you feel like, and next time we'll probably go for another war against the Mamluks and potentially a war against Morocco. We'll see. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.